option for you.
That is cool, yeah. I mean, do training up here, huh?
We actually do classes in here. So we have pre-licensing classes in here.
You ever
for
bring
agents.
potential clients in here and do seminars?
No, but I've thought about it.
Yeah.
I've thought about it.
There's an idea.
Yeah.
If you ever want to do a seminar or ever want to do anything, man, I mean, I'd be glad to do that with you.
Well, one of the things that I'm thinking about strongly with this particular career choice in seniors is to put together the seminars. I like that concept. One of the things that I'm not sure is a good location is a real estate firm.
Yeah.
You know, it almost needs to be in a non-threatening space. So those are my thoughts on that. I don't know whether I'm right or wrong on that. You know,
Yeah,
but
it could be.
the key is attracting attention, getting people to RSVP and ultimately see the value in attending whatever that topic is.
Questions.
Yeah.
Presenting questions to them just to get their mind going is one of the best ways to get them intrigued and wanting to RSVP.
Yeah,
In
my opinion.
in your ad or
Yeah.
your
Invite.
Flyer,
in your
invite,
your
yep.
call,
Mhm.
your call to action, yeah.
Okay.
Just questions that invoke them to think and bring themselves here, you know?
Like a ladybird did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
Do you do that for yours?
We would do a number of things. We would market to our current client list, to our potential client list, people that have seen us that haven't hired us before, and we would market to potential new clients in certain demographics, okay? Or we might be going into a canned group, what I call canned groups, and presenting, maybe at a senior center or at, where else?
Churches
Churches.
with their senior groups.
There's tons of senior groups around
Yeah.
that would like you to come in and give a
See, I
presentation.
think that's a neutral site.
Rotaries,
where they are.
Rotaries.
Yeah, Rotaries.
Rotaries are a great one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, yeah, Rotaries are good.
We do a lot of lunch and learns with staffs too.
Dude, I
Where
have
we
a,
go
I have
out.
a standing.
You say lunch and learns, what do you,
Where we come to the company and Greg presents on what we do at our office, just to educate the office and their employees.
So can I bring you in lunch? Let's say Keller Williams. If I do a lunch and
Right.
learn. Hey, can I? This would be great. We should do a lunch and learn here.
You
Can
should.
we'll email you a flyer, okay? And maybe try to set that up. So if we did this, like for every chamber that we belong to, which is Cleveland County, the Mont Cross, which is the Belmont area, and also the Charlotte chapter, the Charlotte Uptown, and well, you're in all of them, but the Charlotte chamber is so big they divide it up into sections, you know.
right.
So we have a monthly email that goes out with those flyers saying, hey, if you're a business and you'd like, we'd love to bring lunch in and talk to your employees about estate planning and elder law, right?
Yeah.
And how to do in these topics, right?
Yeah.
Pick a topic or we can do a general one. And I mean, my thoughts are if we really went after that, now what we could do too is just get the chamber list and call the follow-up call. And then after a while, people see the flyers, they get the follow-up calls. I mean, you could line up one lunch and learn a week in a business in Charlotte for the rest of your life, 52 weeks a year. There's just no shortage of opportunity there. And then you hit some big companies and you can, in small chunks, probably spend a lot of time there.
Well, I would be very interested in
Those
working
are-
with you if that would be of value to you.
Yeah, so you're just getting your name out there, just making connections, and from one thing leads to another.
Yeah.
So,
Let me show you the rest.
Sure.
So these are our offices. We have,
Did you record that? Yeah, just
Yeah.
go back. We need
I
to
will.
do that. 'Cause
Moving
I know we got
mortgage
those
here.
going out. We need to follow a call on this. Did that just pop on by itself?
yes, these are all motion activated.
Yeah.
So this is my digs right there.
Awesome.
And then we have a team out of here. We have a wonderful kitchenette. We can do a video right in front of the kitchenette. How about that?
Whatever, man.
Good.
Yeah, you want to do it over coffee? Let's have coffee. Coffee and conversation.
We can do that.
Let's do it. Right after we finish, let's go get a cup of coffee.
This is where our broker in charge sits. Right here. And this is April, our fearless leader, and she always dresses in Keller Williams red.
Most of the time.
So she fits right.
I noticed. I noticed.
No, she
I
just
noticed right off the
happened
bat.
to.
Yeah.
Makes it pop.
Oh,
It's a
God.
attention grabber.
Yes.
I noticed right off the bat. Absolutely. Hey, can you get just on sideways footage?
Yes, I will.
Yes. Cause you want,
I know. I
you
already
know what I'm
know.
saying?
Mhm.
Yeah, okay. You know what I'm thinking, don't you?
Yes, I know.
Yeah, there you go. Smile. Why are you moving? Picture her.
No.
She will meet and greet
No.
you and make you feel welcome when you come to Keller Williams. Hi. Hey, I'm Greg McIntyre with McIntyre Elder Law, helping seniors protect their assets and legacies. And this is the Elder Law Report. It is today, Thursday, September 27th. Did I get the date right,
You
Taylor?
did. You did.
Flying
Taylor's
by,
filming
September
with us
27th.
today. And we have Miss Andrea Jant here today. Hey. Okay. And I think you have to keep it the same way or it's going to like flip around sideways. But you deal with that in editing, okay? That's
Okay.
you. All right. Thank you so much, Taylor, for being here today. Okay. Thank
You're
you,
welcome,
Andrea,
Greg.
for being here today as well. And I am here with Mr. Dave Edwards, who is a Keller Williams real estate agent. But wait, there's more. He slices and dices and no. He is an SRES
SRES.
certified SRES, as they call it in the biz.
SRES.
Okay, he's a senior real estate specialist. I've been reading up myself on what a senior real estate specialist is, and if you wonder what kind of prep I do for the Elder Law Report, basically I'm doing anything I can. Also, I've sat down with Dave and we've talked about it, and I think he just has a ton to share to anybody who needs information about real estate, seniors, and their families. From that perspective, really we're going to let Dave take it away for the most part. But just to kind of summarize, seniors, and I know because I see seniors on a daily basis, multiple times per day, that have problems with real estate. They say, hey, should I give it to my kids right now? Well, that could cause tax problems and tax implications because you're giving your taxable basis to your kids. And if they sold it one day, then they're going to could have a large amount of capital gains tax. They're going to say, hey, a fear is the fact that 70% of seniors over the age of 65, people over the age of 65 today, are going to need some type of long-term care in their lives, be it in-home, assisted living, or nursing home care. When you have your eye on that, and that's a fear, sometimes your biggest asset is your home.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times, and it's a huge asset. If it's not your biggest, certainly you've sunk a lot of money into it over 30 years, right? Paying off the mortgage or more. And what do we do with it? How do we protect it? That's where we come in. We help on the protection side. But there are a ton of things that an SRES, a senior real estate specialist, real estate agent, can offer a senior and their families ready-made solutions and things you wouldn't even think about. Now, first, your background,
Sure.
Dave, okay? I know that you maybe weren't always a real estate agent,
Nope.
right? Probably always owned real estate, but you worked at IBM
Yes.
for a number of
I
years.
did. I come out of the corporate world. I spent many years in technology, and sometimes, in my opinion, I've been manager of real estate agents too. And my observation of realtors is the best realtors are ones who have had life experiences, because they're the ones who can relate to the issues that a client is going through. And so, as a result, I look back at my background, and I did come out of the corporate world. We were joking earlier about what is proper dress in this world, and as people know,
We weren't dressed for IBM today.
There's an impression of what IBM is, and,
Sure.
and if you were to go into IBM today, that
Old
impression
school
would be
IBM
blown
anyway.
away.
Right.
So when you get into the world of real estate, it's a little bit more of a casual endeavor, and so using what I've learned from corporate world in terms of the formality, in terms of negotiation on behalf of clients, really has lent itself well in terms of making sure that when we do a job, we do it to the best of our ability and do it professionally. That's what my takeaway from that
Yes, sir.
background. When I moved over to real estate, which was 16 years ago, a lot of those marketing skills that I acquired at that time also has served me well. But it's also the one thing that came out of that background was the desire to serve. Customer service was everything. And so as a result, that is paramount when we're dealing with clients, especially in the senior community.
Sure. I mean, I would say I think as the younger you get, the less customer service oriented they expect. But especially with seniors and their families, you expect a certain level. You can come on in. You come on, there ain't nothing perfect. What's your name?
Christy.
Christy.
Do you need an elder law attorney? We got one right here.
That's me.
Greg
Perfect,
McIntyre.
thank
Do you need coffee or anything too?
I'm good, just some water.
Just some water. See, that's customer service, right?
There you go.
And that's what we expect. I remember going into Belk's in my small town of Shelby, North Carolina, where I was raised, or any department store uptown, and they were all uptown. I want to say it was called downtown then.
Yeah.
For marketing purposes, we now call it uptown.
Uptown, downtown,
'Cause
Center City.
Up
Let's go.
sounds better than down or something.
Come on through.
But
So sorry.
the salespeople in there, the ladies in there, which most of them were ladies, knew my mama personally.
Yeah.
They knew my dad. My dad could walk in anywhere close to Christmas time from November on, and they knew her size, they knew what her tastes were, and they could really help pick out something for her to wear for Christmas, for him to buy for her.
Yeah,
They knew it. The jewelry store knew him. That's
Those
how
were the
customer
days.
service used to be, right? And that's really, I think that's coming back around. I think that's gonna come back around full circle. I miss that type of customer service. And that's one thing that I think, is what a senior and their families might expect. And that's probably the level of customer service that you bring, because you know seniors and you know that market.
Well, it's, my job is to make sure I'm familiar with communities, but my business is about people. And I make it my business to know and be familiar with communities so that I can help clients make choices.
Right.
But ultimately, it's about the people, and it's a lot of question asking, a lot of listening, because what is good for one senior may not be good for the next one. There is no one shoe that fits all. And in today's market, you hear a lot about active adults, and it has as much to do with marketing as it does with the reality that as we're getting older, we're actually younger than our peers were, our parents were at the same age. So we truly are.
Like
And
50's the new 30.
active. Yes,
Yeah.
we're truly active.
Yeah.
So things like that become ingrained in some of the requirements that people are looking for in a house. Is there tennis? Is there swimming? Location relative to outdoor sports and activities all become important. So if I don't
Sidewalks.
ask those questions, I don't get those answers. And sometimes there's-
Sidewalks throughout a community.
Exactly.
You know?
One of the telltale signs, a lot of people were looking for family-friendly communities. And one of those intangibles that I ask people to look at is, look at sidewalks. Sidewalks bring people out, and that's how you meet your neighbors. Subtle
That's how you
things
can
like
tell
that.
how
Yeah.
the prospect, the people being out and about and doing those things. That's
Yeah.
right. That's right.
Now, it's sometimes the subtleties as much as it is just asking the right questions, so we can bring out some of the things that people are looking for.
As an elder law attorney, I've worked with a number of real estate agents. I work with a number of bankers, financial planners, funeral home directors. I just make all these connections in the industry where I work. I have to imagine that's a bonus to having an SRES, senior real estate specialist, to work with you on selling a home, is that you have all these opportunities to make connections with senior communities, where someone might be selling a larger home and moving to a senior community,
Precisely.
and you can help with that transition. And do you need someone to help you invest the remaining equity in your house? And do you need,
Well, Greg, think of it this way.
Right.
I mean, think about, we spent a lifetime moving from one house to the next. We've raised our family in this house perhaps.
Right.
And now all of a sudden we're faced for the first time with making a transition to a house that may be smaller. We haven't done that before. And now we've accumulated all these assets and belongings that have, for many of us, we have strong emotional attachments to. It's hard to let go of that. So a service such as a transitional service to help people decide what to do, there is a logical approach that people can take with dealing with this. And there are services that really cut to the quick and help you do that in a pragmatic fashion and
Sure.
cut through the emotion of that. There are issues like legal issues that where you come into play. For example, if it's a home for long-term, what about my family? Do I want it in a trust? Do I want them on the deed? Well, those are issues that you can help sort out.
Exactly. Do I wanna leave
I'm
it in the
not an
past of the
attorney.
will? You know,
That's
yeah,
where
what-
you come
what I
in.
wanna
So
do, yeah.
I, as a connector, if I'm asking the right questions, these questions will rise to the top, and then I can make those connections. If you're moving to this area, you're not gonna know grid. You're not gonna know the transition team.
Right.
You're not gonna know a financial planner necessarily. You may not know a mortgage lender or a reverse mortgage lender. That is an option. So is that the right option? Those are the questions that need to be asked and answered, and that's what my job is a connector.
And you look, yes, you are a hub. I mean, you can not only sell the house and perhaps, transition or buy a home, right? Find a good fit, but also connect them with all these other services that are associated with that, and getting your life right as you age. Hopefully in an active community, active older adult community.
Yes.
I mean, that's so how important is that? Taylor, how many shows have we done where we talked to experts on not only aging in place, so making your home so that there's not lips and transitions where you walk from one to a floor, floor surface to another, between rooms, where there's wider doors, so that if a wheelchair was needed at some point, there's not a transit, you're ready
Yeah.
to age in place. Where there is an option for roll-in showers if needed, okay? There are all lower countertops, so that if
You're in a
you were
wheelchair.
in a wheelchair, then it would be accessible. There are all kind of thoughts to be had when designing a home to age in place, or modifying a home to age in place. How important is that?
It's very important.
And statistically, where people really go downhill, a pitfall is falls, a broken hip, or a head injury, a lot of times, that necessitates nursing home care. And statistically, it's not great from there, okay, as far as bouncing back from that. Unfortunately, hopefully that'll change over time, but that's the reality. So the more we can stay active, on our feet, mobile, flexible, and have the option to age in place, the better.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how I wanna do it.
Yes. I just pulled some interesting stats of the communities that identify themselves in the MLS as 55 plus in the Charlotte region. We're looking at 35 communities, 35. Now, we have an average of 50 people moving a day, 50 people moving a day into Mecklenburg County alone.
Into Mecklenburg County.
Into Mecklenburg County. So that's the net migration into Mecklenburg County. That being the case, you can imagine there's going to be family that are fall into the senior market into that. That's a lot of people, a lot of demand for housing.
Sure.
That's why rentals are as high as they are. That's why inventory is as low as it's been in a long time, in a lifetime, frankly. And so when you look specifically at housing that is going to be appropriate, okay, for
Sure.
those that classify themselves as seniors, right? You're looking at a small amount of inventory that's available, that's active adult over 55.
Right.
Now, if I go in and assuming that master bedroom down is one of those criteria, I did a quick poll on that, and you're looking at over 5,000 homes. So my point there is that searching for that home is going to often take us outside of an active adult community, and that's okay. That's okay. A lot of people appreciate the diversity of community by age group or where people are from, and that's perfectly fine. A house is not a home until it meets the needs of those clients.
Mhm.
So to your point, are the doorways wide enough? Are the transition strips evened out? Are the handlebars in there for showers or a roll-in shower? Those can be found. It might be a circumstance where families are now moving together more frequently. So we need to be looking for properties
An
that.
ensuite.
An ensuite.
Sure.
Or.
Whatever that
a
means. I'm
secondary.
still looking for somebody to tell me what an ensuite
Yeah,
is.
an ensuite or secondary living quarters.
Research firms.
That's how we classify it, and we're looking for homes. It may be simply a bedroom on the ground level, and maybe the children are living upstairs. But a lot of times, we want to maintain that independence in our lifestyle, and that is so important. So trying to find that right property, whether it be in a community that's not an active adult community, but still offers that, could be a valid alternative for them.
Absolutely. Dave, if someone wants to get in touch with you,
Sure.
if someone's moving to the area or needs to sell a home to transition to a more appropriate home or community,
Yes.
or active community, okay? Number one, who's your perfect client? That's a tough question. It's
Yeah.
always a tough question.
Yes.
Number two, how do they get in touch with you?
Well, the perfect client is clearly somebody where retirement is in the conversation. So that retirement could be on a distant horizon, it could be on the more close horizon, it could already be there, they're retired. But again, active adults, a lot of us are semi-retired, we've got a second career. So where that's part of the equation, part of the conversation, that's a good client for me. Where somebody is looking to relocate closer to family, that's a good client for me. Where somebody has got a larger home and now they need to downsize, that's especially a good client for me because I can help them with the services that might be needed in that situation. But it's also younger clientele as well, the children of, who are concerned, who might be part of that conversation and want to be involved in that on behalf of their parents. I have a client right now, for example, we just found them, they're first-time home buyers. But part of our conversation was, where is mom going to be? We want to locate a house for them, but we also want to have a home nearby so that she can maintain an independent
right.
lifestyle
Sure.
nearby. So that's part of the conversation. It could be as simple as that. So that's the perfect client. It's a broad spectrum, but really hinging around perhaps the need for retirement. That would be the key word there. If you need to get a hold of me,
Okay,
phone number, write this down, everybody, 704.
it's right here. It's right here.
907.
Put it right here.
It's gonna be right here, I'm told, 704-907-7989.
Absolutely.
And you can also reach me at dave@welcomehomeinc.com. That's dave@welcomehomeinc.com.
And we were talking about Keller Williams. You love Keller Williams as a company.
Yes.
You're a Keller Williams real estate
Yes.
agent. He said they really let you be yourself as an agent, and I mean, they've got a bevy of services, a great
Well,
reputation.
Keller Williams is an agency that I've long had a respect for. I've been a follower of Gary Keller for many years, even when I wasn't with Keller Williams. And so it was a natural transition for me to be there. But what makes Keller Williams unique, I guess, is the culture that it's a real estate firm created by realtors for realtors.
Sure. Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for being our guest today on the Elder Law Report. I
Brady,
appreciate
you're a
it.
good interviewer.
Thank you, and we should
Hey.
cheers.
Cheers.
Yes, and only coffee in this cup.
Yeah.
I promise. Okay.
Wait a minute, I thought I put something in there.
No, I hope not. And some old cream. I put some cream stuff in it. So next week, I am going to be in New Orleans. Okay, I'm going to be at Mardi Gras, and we're going to a conference, a legal conference down there. I'm taking my office manager Sonia Rodden with me, and we're going to have a great time. And we're going to be coming to you from New Orleans. Okay, a remote Elder Law Report. We're down there at a technology conference, so we're going to be telling you how technology, our systems, and just what we have in store for you coming up. And you wouldn't think that technology factors into elder law necessarily, but it does so much, and my clients love it, okay? Especially if they have children who are out of state so they can access those documents. So stay tuned next week, every Friday at 10 a.m. on Facebook and other social media. Elder Law Report. See you soon. Bye.
Please don't wait till it's too late. Call McIntyre Elder Law.